we need to talk about the moment that finally broke the illusion of the happy Johnston family. For years, you have watched 7 Little Johnstons expecting a heartwarming story about overcoming adversity. But if you have been paying close attention to the latest season, you know that the mask has completely slipped. We are no longer watching a family reality show. We are watching a psychological breakdown and the systematic dismantling of one person's spirit. The tension that has been bubbling under the surface has finally exploded, and it centers around one chilling, corporate-style statement made by Amber Johnston that proves this isn't just a family squabble anymore. It is an eviction from the family unit. When a mother speaks about her daughter like she is terminating an employee, you know something dark is happening behind the scenes. Today, we are not just recapping the drama. We are exposing the 4 disturbing truths that are tearing this family apart, revealing the secret relationships Anna has been hiding, and digging into the insider reports that suggest the cameras are hiding an even uglier reality. Before we dive into this deep analysis of the Johnstons' darkest season yet, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to 7 Little Couple. We are tracking every rumor, every deleted post, and every behind-the-scenes secret that TLC doesn't want you to see, so turn on those notifications, because you do not want to miss what is coming next. To understand the magnitude of the collapse within the Johnston family, we have to start with the incident that changed everything. We need to dissect the Chinese-themed Thanksgiving dinner. On paper, this should have been a wholesome family moment. You had Jonah handling the turkey, and you had Emma and Alex enthusiastically making dumplings. It was the picture-perfect scene that production loves to film. But there was a gaping hole in the room. Anna was missing. Now, in previous seasons, an absence might be explained away by work schedules or school commitments. But this time, the explanation offered was not an excuse. It was a declaration of war. Amber Johnston looked into the camera with a terrifying level of calm and delivered a line that sent shockwaves through the fan base. She said, quote, "This year we have decided not to invite Anna, nor make an official invitation for everyone's sake," unquote. Listen closely to those words. She did not say we are fighting right now, so it is better if we have space. She used the words decided not to invite an official invitation. This is the language of a bureaucracy, not a mother. It sounds like a press release issued by a corporation trying to distance itself from a liability. By using such cold, sterile terms, Amber was attempting to legitimize an act of emotional cruelty. It was a strategic power play designed to strip the event of any familial warmth and reframe the exclusion as a necessary, almost legalistic action. Insider theories circulating on forums suggest that this specific choice of words was not accidental. Some speculate that Amber is trying to control the narrative so aggressively because she knows she is losing the court of public opinion. By framing it as an official decision, she tries to position herself as the rational manager of the family, and Anna as the chaotic element that must be managed. But to the viewers, it just looked like a mother methodically cutting her daughter out of a core family memory. This leads us directly into the second disturbing truth, which is the scapegoat paradox. Throughout this entire season, the narrative pushed by Amber, Trent, and even Elizabeth is that Anna is the one pulling away. They constantly complain that she is distant, that she doesn't want to be part of the group, and that she is difficult to communicate with. Yet simultaneously, they are the ones actively blocking her from events. You cannot ban someone from a party and then complain that they didn't show up. It is a psychological sleight of hand known as gaslighting. They are creating a self-fulfilling prophecy where they push Anna into isolation. And when she stays there because she has no choice, they point her out and say, look, she is isolating herself. The most egregious example of this came from Elizabeth. In a moment that truly revealed the toxicity bleeding through the sibling dynamic, Elizabeth called Anna pathetic during an argument, and then promptly blocked her number. Think about the severity of that. You insult your sister, you cut off her line of communication, and then you film a scene talking about how difficult it is to reach her. It is maddening to watch. Meanwhile, Anna's response to this has been nothing short of saint-like. In her interview segments, she hasn't screamed, she hasn't thrown insults back. She has stated repeatedly that if she had been invited, she would have come. This creates a jarring disconnect for the viewer. We are hearing the family describe a monster, but we are seeing a young woman who looks hurt, confused, and surprisingly patient. There are reports and fan theories suggesting that this scapegoating is intensifying because Anna is actually the most successful and independent of the children, and that threatens the family hierarchy. Anna has her own home, she has a degree, and she has a successful online business. In a family system that relies on the parents being the ultimate authority, the child who needs them the least often becomes the target. By painting Anna as the problem child, Amber and Trent get to maintain their role as the long-suffering parents, a narrative that fuels the show's drama, but destroys their real-life relationship. This toxicity isn't just hurting Anna, it is poisoning the entire sibling dynamic, which brings us to the third truth. The ripple effect of this conflict has forced every single sibling into a specific troubling role. We are watching a house divided, where loyalty to the parents is valued over morality. Look at Elizabeth. Her anger seems to function on an automatic switch. As Anna pointed out, whenever Amber gets mad, Elizabeth gets mad. It is blind loyalty. Elizabeth seems to have adopted the role of the golden child who protects her position by attacking the scapegoat. There is a tragedy in this, because by becoming her mother's enforcer, Elizabeth is burning a bridge with the one person who could actually understand her struggles. Then you have Jonah. Jonah has adopted a stance of indifference that he tries to pass off as Zen wisdom. He sits back, speaks in riddles, and tries to stay neutral. But in a situation where one person is being systematically excluded by the entire group, neutrality is not wisdom. Neutrality is complicity. By not speaking up for Anna, Jonah is silently endorsing her treatment. Insider chatter suggests that Jonah is terrified of rocking the boat because he is still heavily reliant on his parents for stability, and he knows that defending Anna could put him in the line of fire. He is choosing survival over integrity. Emma is perhaps the most heartbreaking casualty of this war. We know from past seasons that Emma and Anna had a bond. They were sisters who looked out for each other. But now, Emma is caught in the middle. You can see the fear in her eyes. She prioritizes obedience to Amber because she is afraid of upsetting the household dynamic. The pressure to conform is squeezing the sisterly love out of her. And then there is Trent. There was a time when viewers saw Trent as Anna's advocate. We thought he was the soft parent who balanced out Amber's strictness. That version of Trent is gone. He has been replaced by a man who simply echoes whatever Amber says. He repeats the party line without offering a unique perspective. It creates a terrifying monolithic front. Mom and Dad are one unit, and if you cross one, you cross both. This abandonment by her father figure might be the deepest cut of all for Anna. But here is where the story takes a turn that the show's producers didn't expect. While the family tries to paint Anna as a lonely, pathetic figure who can't maintain relationships, the reality of her off-screen life proves them completely wrong. This is the fourth truth: Anna's secret life. On camera, Anna plays it cool. She acts like a romantic philosopher who prefers male friends and doesn't want the drama of a boyfriend. It's a smart protective mechanism. But the internet sleuths have uncovered that Anna has had a robust, complex romantic life that she has kept hidden from the cameras, and likely from her judgment-heavy family. We know about at least 2 significant relationships. There was a year-long relationship with an African-American man that was kept entirely off the show. Rumors swirled that he had a difficult temperament, but the fact that Anna maintained a long-term relationship in private shows a level of independence the family claims she doesn't have. But the bigger bombshell is the recent revelation of a relationship with a man 20 years her senior. This was a shocker. Photos surfaced, and at first, people assumed this man was dating Anna's aunt because they were introduced by her aunt. But no, he was with Anna. This relationship is a massive act of defiance. Dating an older man, keeping it secret, living a life that is completely separate from the Johnston family values. This is Anna asserting her autonomy. Some psychological theories suggest that seeking out a much older partner can sometimes be a response to a lack of paternal protection at home. If her own father won't stand up for her, she might be subconsciously seeking a protector figure who is removed from the family drama. Regardless of the psychology, the existence of these relationships proves that the pathetic narrative Elizabeth pushes is a lie. Anna is living a full life. She just isn't living it with them. The disconnect between the unity and love premise of the show and the reality of this calculated exclusion is becoming impossible to ignore. We are watching a family that is more concerned with being right than being together. The Thanksgiving dinner was not just a meal, it was a symbol. The empty chair where Anna should have sat is the defining image of this season. It represents the failure of the parents to de-escalate conflict. It represents the siblings' failure to stand up for one of their own. And most of all, it represents the stubborn resilience of Anna, who refuses to beg for a seat at a table where she clearly isn't wanted. There are even darker theories bubbling up from deep within the fan base and insider leaks. Some are speculating that the financial aspect of the show is driving a wedge between them. Is it possible that Anna, realizing her popularity with the fans, demanded a different contract or a bigger cut, leading the family to try and freeze her out of screen time? In reality TV, following the money is always a good rule of thumb. If Anna is the fan favorite, and look at the comments section, she absolutely is. That gives her leverage. And in a family business where the parents hold the keys, a child with leverage is a threat. Furthermore, we have to look at the timeline of events regarding Elizabeth. Elizabeth has been going through a roller coaster of life events: relationships, heartbreak, and entering motherhood. There is a strong theory that Elizabeth's hostility toward Anna is fueled by pure jealousy. Anna is free. Anna is traveling, running a business, and doing whatever she wants without the weight of the same responsibilities that Elizabeth is facing. Seeing your sister thrive while you are struggling can breed resentment, especially if your mother is constantly whispering in your ear that your sister is the problem. It's a toxic cocktail of envy and projection. As we continue to peel back the layers of this season, the question isn't just, will they make up? The question is, should they? When a family dynamic becomes this systemic in its abuse, when exclusion becomes an official decision, is reconciliation even healthy? Or is Anna actually winning by losing them? The silence on the other end of that blocked phone number might be the most peaceful thing Anna has experienced in years. We are just scratching the surface of the Johnston family crisis. We are going to dive into the specific production secrets that TLC is trying to bury, including a rumored altercation that never made it to air, and the real reason why Trent has become so passive. We will also look at the fan revolt that is happening right now and how it might force the network to cancel the show entirely if Amber doesn't change her ways. If you thought the family dynamics we discussed in above were disturbing, what we are about to uncover regarding the production secrets and the financial motivations behind this feud will make you question everything you see on TLC. We have already established that Anna is being systematically removed from the family unit, but the question remains, why now? And more importantly, what are the cameras deliberately not showing us? To understand the full scope of this reality TV tragedy, we have to talk about the role of production and the rumors of the lost footage. There is a prevailing theory among industry insiders and eagle-eyed viewers that the edit we are seeing on television is actually the nice version of events. There are reports circulating that several confrontations between Amber and Anna were deemed too dark and too psychologically damaging to air on a family network. Look at the continuity errors in the recent episodes. There are moments where eyes are puffy, scenes cut abruptly, and conversations feel disjointed. These are the scars of the editing room floor. The theory is that Anna stood up for herself much more vigorously than we have been shown. But showing Anna as strong and articulate undermines Amber's narrative that Anna is mentally unstable or pathetic. Therefore, production, likely under pressure from the parents who hold the contract, cuts those moments of strength, leaving us with shots of Anna looking sad and silent. They are editing her into a victim to protect the brand of the parents. But the brand is failing, and that brings us to the second major revelation of this update: the Trent Johnston mystery. In the early seasons, Trent was the comic relief. He was the buffer. But something has fundamentally shifted in his demeanor. We are no longer seeing a father. We are seeing a man who is completely checked out. Insider speculation points to a marriage that is much more strained than they let on. The theory is that Trent has realized that the only way to keep peace in his marriage to a dominant personality like Amber is to completely surrender his autonomy regarding the children. He isn't agreeing with Amber because he thinks she is right. He is agreeing with her because he is exhausted. Watch his eyes in the confessionals. When Amber is explaining why Anna couldn't come to Thanksgiving, Trent just nods. He doesn't offer his own rationale. He parrots her words. This is a survival tactic. There is a dark rumor that Trent did try to advocate for Anna off camera, and it resulted in such a severe marital conflict that he decided to never do it again. He has sacrificed his relationship with his daughter to save his marriage. It is a cowardly move, but it explains why the fun-loving dad has turned into a stone-faced enforcer of his wife's cruel policies. Now, we need to address the elephant in the room, or rather, the baby in the room. The arrival of Elizabeth's child has been weaponized in a way that is truly unsettling. Grandchildren in toxic family systems often become pawns, and we are seeing this play out in real time. Elizabeth, knowing her position as the golden child is secure, has effectively used her motherhood to solidify her rank. By giving Amber the one thing she desperately wanted, a grandchild, Elizabeth has bought herself immunity from criticism. But it goes darker. There is a sense that access to the grandchild is being used as leverage. The family gathers around the baby, and because Anna is excluded from the family, she is effectively excluded from being an aunt. This is a tactical, emotional strike. It sends the message, we are the future, we are the lineage, and you are a branch that has been pruned. It creates a new inner circle that Anna physically cannot enter. Sources suggest that Elizabeth is extremely possessive of this new status and views Anna not as a sister, but as a rival for attention who must be kept at arm's length to ensure Elizabeth remains the center of the family universe. But while the family thinks they are controlling the narrative, they have made a fatal miscalculation. They forgot about the audience. This brings us to the fan revolt. Usually, reality TV editors are masters at manipulating the audience to hate who they want us to hate. But in this case, the manipulation has failed spectacularly. If you scroll through the comments on the show's official social media pages, it is a bloodbath. It is estimated that 90% of the engagement is negative toward Amber and Elizabeth, and overwhelmingly supportive of Anna. The hashtag Team Anna has gained more traction than the show's actual promotional hashtags. This backlash is significant because it threatens the one thing the Johnstons care about more than their pride: the money. This is the financial truth that tears them apart. Reality TV families get paid per episode, but their renewal depends on likability and ratings. Amber is driving the show into the ground by becoming a villain that is no longer fun to watch. She is just uncomfortable to watch. TLC executives are reportedly nervous. They know that audiences will tune in for drama, but they will tune out for abuse. There is a very real possibility that the network might intervene. Here is an exclusive theory that is gaining traction. TLC might be planning a spin-off, or at least a special focused solely on Anna. Think about it. She has sympathy, she has an interesting life, she has secret romances, and she has a fan base. If the network senses that the main 7 Little Johnstons ship is sinking because of the parents' toxicity, their best financial move is to give Anna her own lifeboat. This would be the ultimate revenge. Imagine Amber's reaction if the daughter she called pathetic ends up with her own show while the main series gets canceled. It would be a poetic justice of Shakespearean proportions. Let's look at the financial leverage Anna actually holds. She operates a successful online shop. She is financially independent. This terrifies controlling parents. When a child no longer needs their parents' money, the parents lose their last bit of control. The Johnstons have often held financial support over the kids' heads, threatening to kick them out or cut them off. Anna has removed that weapon from their arsenal. This is why their anger seems so irrational and escalating. They are grasping at straws because the strings they used to pull have been cut. We also have to consider the NDA silence. Why hasn't Anna done a tell-all interview? Why hasn't she gone on a podcast and exposed everything? It is almost certainly because of strict non-disclosure agreements tied to her contract. But contracts expire. And when this show inevitably ends, or when Anna decides the payout is worth the breach, the stories that will come out will likely be far worse than what we are speculating. We are talking about years of unfilmed psychological warfare. There is another layer to the official decision to exclude Anna that we touched on in above. We need to analyze the timing. This exclusion happened right as the family was pushing the togetherness narrative for the holidays. It highlights the hypocrisy that is central to the show's decline. You cannot sell a brand of little people big world style unity while practicing Game of Thrones style politics. Viewers are feeling betrayed. They invested years watching these kids grow up, and now they are watching the parents destroy one of them for sport. Let's talk about the future. What happens in the next season? If the ratings drop because fans are boycotting the bullying, Amber will likely double down. Narcissistic dynamics rarely de-escalate. They intensify when challenged. We can expect the family to circle the wagons even tighter. They will likely try to introduce a new storyline to distract from the Anna situation. Perhaps a health scare or a major renovation project, or a focus on Alex and Emma's dating lives. But it won't work. The ghost of Anna's absence will haunt every frame. Every time they sit down for a family dinner, the audience will be looking at the empty chair. Furthermore, we are seeing the cracks form in the younger siblings, Alex and Emma. Right now, they are compliant, but they are watching. They are seeing exactly what happens when you step out of line. This creates an atmosphere of terror. They aren't behaving because they are good kids. They are behaving because they are hostages. They know that if they cross Amber, they get the Anna treatment. But as they enter adulthood, that fear will turn into resentment. We predict that within 2 years, we will see a rebellion from Alex or Emma that rivals Anna's, because you cannot suppress individuality forever. Finally, we have to ask, is the show actually dangerous? There is a growing conversation in the reality TV community about the ethics of filming this kind of emotional abuse. By airing these episodes, is TLC complicit in the scapegoating of a vulnerable young woman? The network is profiting off her pain. Every tear Anna sheds is monetized. This ethical dilemma might be the thing that finally kills the show. Advertisers are sensitive. If the public outcry becomes loud enough and sponsors realize they are funding a platform for bullying, the money will dry up overnight. So, where does this leave us? We are watching a slow-motion car crash. The Johnstons are desperate to maintain their image, but in doing so, they have exposed their true selves. The official decision to exclude Anna was the nail in the coffin. It was the moment the mask fell off. They are not a happy family overcoming the odds. They are a fractured business partnership trying to manage a PR crisis of their own making. As we wait for more updates, keep your eyes peeled for the subtle clues. Watch Elizabeth's social media. See if she slips up and posts a location where Anna is. Watch Trent's face. See if the mask of indifference slips. And most importantly, keep supporting Anna. Because in a battle between a corporate family machine and one resilient individual, the truth has a funny way of rising to the top. This is the end of the script for now, but the story is far from over. The Johnstons are currently filming, and leaks are springing up every day. We will be here to catch every single one of them. If you want to be the first to know when the next bombshell drops, or when the inevitable cancellation news hits, you need to be subscribed. This is 7 Little Couple signing off. Stay curious, and don't believe everything you see on the screen.